Hey, this is Chris from Deus Ex Machina, and I am with.
Dave from Rampant Wolf Games.
And today we are looking at casual games for a player count of 5 or higher. This is not, though, a list necessarily about party games. Even though party games are on the list, that's not necessarily a requirement. So this could be any number of games, just not party games, but games for 5 or more players.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is a party game.
Number 5, coming in at number 5.
Is Telestrations, which I will state, I would hardly call a game. It's more of a psychological exercise of lunacy.
I think it's psychological warfare.
It's warfare, yes, except the fact that you're battling your own sanity. I would probably put Telestrations as probably the weirdest and goofiest single. Like, it's not a game because I played it twice. Mm-hmm. And did we ever determine nobody wins?
No.
Nobody wins at Telestrations.
But we all win because, we're all laughing together.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, nobody loses Telestrations.
No.
The person who loses Telestrations is the person who asks who won.
Yeah. Or the person,
like, we all won because you asked.
Or the person loses because they drew so well they were able to get their... So it was basically like hot dog. And by the end you have a hot dog.
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
like, you lost.
If you actually get a point, then you've actually got a negative point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, and then you realize at the end, you're like, wait a second, I won. No, you lost.
Yeah.
It's like that scene from Runaway, from... The Running Man. It's like, that was last season's winners. No, last season's losers.
I think really you should almost score it on the how far away, like how deviated did you get from your original thing, and then how did you come back?
Afterward, the group votes on what is the largest deviation, and that guy gets a point.
Exactly. Or
you have to
the deviation, which then came back to what it was supposed to be. I've seen those.
That's the weirdest one.
Yeah,
I think that's like. And I think everyone votes together. Which one's the best journey?
Yeah,
not necessarily the most deviation, but the greatest journey. That's the rule. That's how you should play it.
That's how you
After
should play
the journey, it was like, okay, which one took us on the greatest journey? And someone said, the one that started off with a hand grenade and became the human centipede and got into a unicorn. That one's our favorite.
Yeah.
So that is number 5, Telestration.
Coming in at number 4 is, for your casual games of 5 or more players, is, a very much a favorite of out there. It's a quick game. It's a break it out, you have fun, you do it, and you're done. And it's a variation on Yahtzee. It is Roll For It.
We've spoken at Roll For It. We always speak about Roll For It.
Yeah, there's not much to say about Roll For It. Look it up. Roll For It.
What are the rules? You roll.
You roll. You match the card, and you take it.
Yes. You might as well have named the game after the rules. You roll and you claim.
Yeah. This is not rolling right.
It's not rolling right. Yeah. So that is number 4.
4. Roll For It. All right. Now coming in at number 3 for casual games for 5 or more players is Cthulhu Realms. Now, the caveat to this one ending up on the list was that you need 2 copies of the game, but it's
or more, even.
Or more. It's basically Star Realms, but it's themed with H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu,
and not made by the people who did Star Realms.
No, it's not. It's done by Tasty Minstrel.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like Hero Realms, Star Realms, Cthulhu Realms. 2 of those are made by one company, and the other one isn't.
And they didn't get sued.
Yeah, they didn't get sued.
But it is a good game, and if you like H.P. Lovecraft at all, it's funny. You'll pull out a card, it's like, yeah, it's funny. Because, it's just one of those games. So that is number 3 for casual games for 5 or more players, Cthulhu Realms.
Number 2 for casual games for 5 or more players is... Wait for it. Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards, Duel of Mouse Skullfires, or one of its many expansions like this one, which you just got there. That was Rumble at Castle Tentakill. Really fun game, just pure chaos. Mm-hmm. It's random, but not random. Like, it's one of those games where if you are trying badly to win, you are playing it wrong. Mm-hmm. It's almost like Munchkin. Munchkin, you're just you're just going by ear and going, okay, it's a pure chaos, and if you win, you're like...
You just want Rat on a Steak.
Yeah, like with Munchkin, you're just at the end of Munchkin, you're like, oh, I won. It wasn't like yes, I won. It was just
Yeah.
like
My
Yeah.
plan worked out
yeah,
perfectly.
there's none of that. But it's one of those games where you can't take it too seriously. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like, this game's too random. I don't like it. I think Will Wheaton has said it best: the fact that if you realize it's random, but then you kind of go with the flow, it becomes fun because your
Oh, yeah.
spells are doing crazy things. You have fun with the arrangement. The artwork is, definitely not a kid's game. It's very goofy and a little crude, but that it is an incredibly fun game. And I think as you play it for larger groups, it does get a bit longer, but it also gets crazier because you're just cooking things off. It's when it gets down to the final one or two where it starts to whittle down a little bit. So that's number 2, Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Duel at Mount Skullfire.
Excellent. And coming in at number 1 for our casual games for 5 or more players, this one actually does all the way up to 10. Actually, it might be 12.
Which is the reason why it's a really good game for
Yeah.
casual, for 5+ players.
And that is Formula D, or Formula Day.
You put a stank on it.
I put a
It's
stank
okay
on
if it's French. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's the only game that has dice that are just ridiculously
reason.
customized.
No reason for it.
No, it really isn't. I mean, the funny part too is it's like
There's a 30-sided die, but only like 12 facings on it.
yeah, and you really want more dice because eventually, inevitably, someone's like, okay, I'm in 6th gear. I need to roll a dice. Who's got the die? It's
Yeah, exactly. You have to get more dice sets, and they're all unique.
Yeah.
But it is cool. It goes up to a lot of players. The casualness is the base game.
Yep.
There is an advanced game which becomes a little less casual.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more playing around.
Comes down to things like weather and campaign. I have yet to play a campaign of a game or with any of the more advanced rules, but that's because if you play with more of the advanced rules, set aside your afternoon. It is like going to see Daytona. You're done for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
So
So that is number 1, Formula Day.
I've been Dave.
I've been Chris.
Deus.
I was going to say Deus Ex Machina.
Remember, the rules are just a suggestion. Play the game how you want to play it.
And for as many players as you want.
That's true.
Unless you have a fiance who doesn't have a lot of friends, in which case you're playing with 2 people.